Hello, my name is Alexis P. Guzman. I am from BSHM HR 831 and this is our final requirement in legal aspects in tourism and hospitality. And today I'm going to discuss the 5 legal codes. The number 1 code is the Republic Act number 1937 Tariff and Customs Code. The Tariff and Customs Code of the Philippines as amended and for other purposes, an act to revitalize and strengthen the Bureau of Customs, amending for the purpose certain sections of the Tariff and Customs Code of the Philippines as amended. The Bureau of Customs shall have 1 chief and 1 assistant chief, to be known respectively as the Commissioner and Assistant Commissioner of Customs, who shall each receive an annual compensation in accordance with the rates prescribed by existing laws. The Assistant Commissioner of Customs shall be appointed by the proper department head. Section 602, Functions of the Bureau. The general duties, powers, and jurisdiction of the Bureau shall include A. The assessment and collection of the lawful revenues from imported articles and all other dues, fees, charges, fines, and penalties accruing under the tariff and customs laws. B. The prevention and suppression of smuggling and other frauds upon the customs. And C is the supervision and control over the entrance and clearance of vessels and aircraft engaged in foreign commerce. And D is the general supervision, control, and regulation of vessels engaged in the carrying of passengers and freight or in towage in coastwise trade and in the bays and rivers of the Philippines. And E is the prohibition and suppression of unnecessary noises such as explosion of gasoline engines, the excessive blowing of whistles or sirens and other needles and disturbing sounds made by watercraft in the ports of the Philippines or in parts of rivers included in such ports. F. The exclusions, if the conditions of traffic should at any time so require, of vessels of more than 150 tons from entering, berthing, or mooring in the passage river. And G is the measurement, registration, documenting, and licensing of vessels built or owned in the Philippines, the recording of sales, transfers, and encumbrances of such vessels, and the performance of all duties pertaining to marine registry. H. The inspection of Philippine vessels and supervision over the safety and sanitation of such vessels. I is the enforcement of lawful quarantine regulations for vessels entering Philippine ports. J is the enforcement of the tariff and customs laws and all other laws, rules, and regulations relating to the tariff and custom administration. And K is the licensing of marine officers who have qualified in the examination required by law to be carried on Philippine vessels, the determination of the qualification of pilots, the regulation of these service, and the fixing of the fees which they may charge. And the L is the supervision and control over the handling of foreign emails arriving in the Philippines for the purpose of the collection of the lawful duty on dutiable articles thus imported and prevention of smuggling through the medium of such mails. When a vessel becomes subject to seizure by reason of an act done in Philippine waters in violation of the tariff and customs law, a pursuit of such vessels began with the jurisdictional waters may continue beyond the maritime zone, and the vessel may be seized on the high sea. Imported articles which may be subject to seizure for violation of the tariff and customs laws may be pursued in their transportation in the Philippines by land, water, or air, and such jurisdiction exerted over it at any place therein as may be necessary for the due enforcement of the law. And my number 2 legal code is the Presidential Decree number 1445 State Auditing Code. This law shall be known and cited as the Government Auditing Code of the Philippines. Section 2, Declaration of Policy. It is the declared policy of the state that all resources of the government shall be managed, expended, or utilized in accordance with law and regulations, and safeguard against loss or wastage through illegal or improper disposition, with a view to ensuring efficiency, economy, and effectiveness in the operations of government. The responsibility to take care that such policy is faithful adhered to rest directly with the chief or head of the government agency concerned. Definition of terms. Wherever used in this code, the following terms shall be taken and understood in the sense indicated hereunder, unless the context otherwise requires. The fund. The fund is a sum of money or other resources set aside for the purpose of carrying out specific activities or attaining certain objectives in accordance with special regulations, restrictions, or limitations, and constitutes an independent fiscal and accounting entity. Number 2 is the government funds. It includes the public money of every sort and other resources pertaining to any agency of the government. And number 3 is the revenue funds. It comprises all funds derived from the income of any agency of the government and available for appropriation or expenditure in accordance with law. Number 4 is the trust funds. It refers to the funds which have come officially into the possession of any agency of the government or of a public officer as a trustee, agent, or administrator, or which have been received for the fulfillment of some obligation. And number 5 is the depository funds. Comprises funds over which the officer accountable therefore may retain control for the lawful purposes for which they came into his possession. It embraces monies in any and all depositories. And number 6 is the depository. Means it is any financial institution lawfully authorized to receive government monies upon deposit. And number 7 is the resources. It refers to the actual assets of any agency of the government such as cash, instruments representing or convertible to money, receivables, lands, buildings, as well as the contingent assets such as estimated revenues applying to the current fiscal period, not accrued or collected, and bonds authorized and unissued. And and number 8 is the government agency or agency of the government, or the agency refers to any department, bureau, or office of the national government, or any of its branches and instrumentalities, or any political subdivisions, as well as any government-owned or controlled corporations, including its subsidiaries or other self-governing board or commission of the government. And my number 3 legal code is the Presidential Decree number 1083, the Muslim Code of Personal Laws. It is the decree to ordain and promulgate a code recognizing the system of Filipino Muslim laws, codifying Muslim personal laws, and providing for its administration and for other purposes. Whereas, pursuant to the spirit of the provision of the Constitution of the Philippines, that in order to promote the advancement and effective participation of the national culture, communities in the building of the new society, the state shall consider their customs, traditions, beliefs, and interests in the formulation and implementation of its policies. Whereas, Islamic law and its principles of equity and justice to which the Filipino Muslim communities adhere provide an essential basis for the fuller development of said communities in relation to the search of harmonious relations of all segments of the Filipino nation to enhance national unity. Whereas the enforcement with the full sanction of the state of the legal system of the Filipino Muslims shall redound to the attainment of a more ordered life amongst them. Whereas it is the intense desire of the new society to strengthen all the ethno-linguistic communities in the Philippines within the context of their respective ways of life in order to bring about a cumulative result satisfying the requirements of national solidarity and social justice. Now, therefore, Ferdinand Marcos, President of the Philippines, by virtue of the powers vested in the Constitution of the Philippines, hereby ordain and promulgate the Code of Muslim Personal Laws of the Philippines as part of the law of the land and hereby decree. And my fourth legal code is the Republic Act number 9829, or the Pre-Need Code of the Philippines. The Pre-Code Need of the Philippines, or the Republic Act number 9829, declares that it is the policy of the state to regulate the establishment of pre-need companies and to place their operation on sound, efficient, and stable basis to derive the optimum advantage from them in the mobilization of savings and prevent and mitigate as far as practicable practices prejudicial to public interests and the protection of plan holders. The Pre-Need Code of the Philippines provides that the state regulate through an empowered agency, pre-need companies based on prudential principles to promote soundness, stability, and sustainable growth of the pre-need industry. What is a pre-need company? The law says the pre-need company refers to any corporation registered with the Insurance Commission and authorized or licensed to sell or offer to sell pre-need plans. The term pre-need company also refers to schools, memorial chapels, banks, non-bank financial institutions, and other entities which have also been authorized or licensed to sell or offer to sell pre-need plans insofar as their pre-need activities or business are concerned. What are pre-need plans? The law says that pre-need plans are contracts, agreements, deeds, or plans for the benefit of the plan holders which provide for the performance or future services, payment of monetary considerations, or delivery of other benefits at the time of actual need or agreed maturity date. As specified in the plan, in exchange for cash or installment, amounts with or without interest or insurance coverage and includes life, pension, education, interment, and other plans, instrument contracts or deed as may in the future he determined by the Commission. Who is the plan holder? The law says that the plan holder refers to any person who purchases pre-need plans from a pre-need company for whom or for whose beneficiaries benefits are to be delivered, as stipulated and guaranteed by the pre-need company. The term includes the assignee, transferee, and any successor in interest of the plan holder. And my fourth legal code is the Republic Act number 9829, or the Pre-Need Code of the Philippines. The Pre-Code Need of the Philippines, or the Republic Act number 9829, declares that it is the policy of the state to regulate the establishment of pre-need companies and to place their operation on sound, efficient, and stable basis to derive the optimum advantage from them in the mobilization of savings and prevent and mitigate as far as practicable practices prejudicial to public interest and the protection of plan holders. The Pre-Need Code of the Philippines provides that the state regulate, through an empowered agency, pre-need companies based on prudential principles to promote soundness, stability, and sustainable growth of the pre-need industry. What is a pre-need company? The law says the pre-need company refers to any corporation registered with the Insurance Commission and authorized or licensed to sell or offer to sell pre-need plans. The term pre-need company also refers to schools, memorial chapels, banks, non-bank financial institutions, and other entities which have also been authorized or licensed to sell or offer to sell pre-need plans insofar as their pre-need activities or business are concerned. What are pre-need plans? The law says that pre-need plans are contracts, agreements, deeds, or plans for the benefit of the plan holders which provide for the performance or future services, payment of monetary considerations, or delivery of other benefits at the time of actual need or agreed maturity date. As specified in the plan, in exchange for cash or installment, amounts with or without interest or insurance coverage and includes life, pension, education, interment, and other plans, instrument contracts or deed as may in the future he determined by the Commission. Who is the plan holder? The law says that the plan holder refers to any person who purchases pre-need plans from a pre-need company for whom or for whose beneficiaries benefits are to be delivered, as stipulated and guaranteed by the pre-need company. The term includes the assignee, transferee, and any successor in interest of the plan holder. And my last legal code is the Executive Number 226, or the Omnibus Investment Code of 1987. The Omnibus Investment Code of 1987, whereas the government is committed to encourage investment in desirable areas of activity, whereas the facility investment there is a need to adopt a cohesive and consolidated investment incentives law, whereas it is imperative to integrate basic laws on investment to clarify and harmonize their provisions for the guidance of domestic and foreign investors. Now, therefore, Corazon C. Aquino, President of the Philippines, hereby order and ordain the following. Number 1 is, this order shall be known as the Omnibus Investments Code of 1987. Article number 2, Declaration of Investment Policies, to accelerate the sound development of the national company in the consonance with the principle and objectives of economic nationalism and in pursuance of a planned economical, feasible, and practical dispersal of industries and the promotion of small and medium-scale industries, under conditions which will encourage competition and discourage monopolies. The following are declared the policies of the state. The number 1 is, the state shall encourage private Filipino and foreign investment in industry, agriculture, forestry, mining, tourism, and other sectors of the economy, which shall provide significant employment opportunities relative to the amount of the capital being invested. Increase productivity of the land, minerals, forestry, aquatic, and other resources of the country, and improve utilization of the product thereof, improve technical skills of the people employed in the enterprise, provide a fountain for the future development of the economy, meet the test of international competitiveness, accelerate development of less developed regions of the country, and result in increased volume and value of export for the economy. Number 2 is, the state shall ensure the holistic development by safeguarding the well-being of the social, cultural, and ecological life of the people. For this purpose, consultation with affected communities will be conducted whenever necessary. And number 3, the state shall extend to projects which will significantly contribute to the attainment of these two objectives: fiscal incentives without which said projects may not be established in the locales, number, and/or pace required for the optimum national economic development. Fiscal incentive system shall be devised to compensate for market imperfections, to reward performance contributing to economic development, be cost efficient, and be simple to administer. Number 4 is, the state considers the private sector as the prime mover for economic growth. In this regard, private initiative is to be encouraged, with the regulation and self-regulation of business, which activities to be generally adopted were dictated by urgent social concerns. And number 5 is, the state shall principally play a supportive role rather than a competitive one, providing the framework, the climate, and the incentive which within business activity is to take place. And number 6 is, the state recognize that there are appropriate roles for local and foreign capital to play in the development of the Philippine economy, and that it is the responsibility of government to define these roles and provide the climate for their entry and growth. And number 7 is, the state recognizes that industrial peace is an essential element of economic growth, and that it is a principal responsibility of the state to ensure that such condition prevails. And number 8 is, the fiscal incentive shall be extended to stimulate the establishment and cease initial operations of the enterprise, and shall terminate after a period of not more than 10 years from registration or start-up of operation unless a specific period is otherwise stated. My name is Alexis P. Guzman, and that is my output for legal aspect in tourism and hospitality industry. Thanks for watching.